Okay, good. So why don't we start? Usually what I do first is I read your bio to everyone. So I'm going to set this camera up so I can read a little bit about you to everyone. I'm so excited to have you here. Okay, Lady Nina was born in Rome. Her first steps into the world of graffiti began in 2000 as Nina, starting with tags and
Yes.
flops in her neighborhood. Over the years, she developed a classic New York style that would evolve over the years thanks to her collaborations and productions with various artists in Italy and abroad. In 2017, she became a member of the Death Squad, the historic New York City style writing crew founded in 1976. Over the years, she has accomplished successful collaborations with the Outdoor Festival, Fruta Gallery, Drago Publisher, Clipper, Red Bull, Fendi, Asics, Nike, and has had exhibitions such as the Macro Museum and the Spoleto Festival of the Two Worlds. She has worked as a publicist and a photojournalist for various journalistic editorial publications and webzines about urban art, and has launched a limited edition self-produced magazine titled Burners Magazine. Well, I want to thank you and welcome you to the show. And the first question is, how did this little girl find graffiti? Why did you
Yes.
start writing graffiti?
Yes. When I started graffiti, my small city, I was alone, like
I lost you. I can't hear you. Nina, I can't hear you. Can you try Nina, can you try taking these off? Let me try this again. I have a funny feeling maybe her Bluetooth is affecting the conversation. So let me just get her on and see if she can take off her Bluetooth. It's waiting for Lady Nina. She should be coming back. I see you, Pedro. Hey, Matt. So we're just trying to connect. Just momentarily, here she should be on.
you hear me?
Yes, much better now. Much better. So you took the headphones off.
Okay.
Okay, so Nina, so I was asking you
Okay.
the beginning. How did this all start for you?
Yes. I started in my small place in 2000 around, and I was the first girl near my place, and I painted only with guys.
Why
I
did you?
meet my friend in the school, and them just painted.
But why did you want to paint? What was the reason?
Ah, okay, yes. Because my father brought to me many books from New York.
Books about graffiti?
Yes, and then my love for graffiti become too much.
Do you remember which book?
Yes, Don D. White.
Wow.
The book of Don D. White, yes. Because while my female friends went to the discotheque, to the bar, to find a boyfriend, me read the graffiti book and went to paint with my friends.
And who were some of these friends? Who were the early graffiti writers of Rome?
In Rome, there are many graffiti artists, and when I started also with Bruce. You know Bruce?
Yep.
Yes, and I painted also with him.
And so Italy has a train system. Did you go right to the trains, or were you just painting walls?
No. When I was young, I painted also train with my friends in 2000, around 2003. But my favorite spot are the walls, the street, illegal, because I painted only illegal before the 2009. And then I started to paint also Hall of Fame, legal.
Did you feel painting the trains was too dangerous?
I had some bad situation in yard, and then I prefer to not go again there. Too danger for me. I enough afraid about train, about the situation I lived.
And so with the walls, the murals, did you feel that you had to compete with the boys? A competition? Was there a competition?
I didn't hear.
Okay, I'm gonna try this in Google. Hang on a second. Competition with.
Hai sentito che ci fosse una competizione con i ragazzi?
Depends, because a big part of my friend was very supported because I'm so a girl, but apart no, and are very masculism in with me. But this is the cause because I continued to paint and evolve my style always better.
Sei diventato parte di una troupe di scrittori.
Sì, anni fa Part One mi iscrisse per essere parte in English. And Part One wrote to me some years ago and asked to me to be, if I wanted to be part of TDS. And I thought it was a joke because for me it was not possible. Part One asked to me to be part of TDS. For me, was the best day of my life.
Wonderful. I'm writing the next question.
Yes.
Ti concentri sullo stile di scrittura, TDS è uno dei migliori equipaggi.
So what I'm asking is, you focus on style writing, and TDS is one of the greatest crews.
Yes, I always loved New York style, classic, and especially TDS is the best part of graffiti culture and style. And I study for many years this style, and now I evolve every time this style, but always the base is the classic style.
My next question is,
Do you have a preference between
Wait.
NYC style?
Hai una preferenza tra lo stile di New York o gli stili europei?
if you have a preference between New York style or European style?
For me, New York style was been the first love about classic style. These are the origins. And then I discover, because when I started, I didn't have enough image to see, only the book from New York and some train about some train in Rome. And then in 2004, Bates Ekentu came in my place for an event, Bright for Gold. And I check for first time a different style, near New York style, but with evolution, about European influencer.
Nice. Now, I have a question about your crew and the people around you.
Parliamo di collaborazioni. Dimmi perché ti piacciono e con chi ti piace dipingere.
Let's talk about collaborations. Tell me why you like them and who do you like painting with?
Okay, sorry, in these pics there are my friends, and we are here in an amazing day. It's a big event of Italy, I think the best event about graffiti and hip hop, and organized from Mr. Weni, by Mr. Weni. And Mr. Weni give to me the chance to paint in an amazing day. For me, was the first event important in Italy. And I love to collaborate because they support me and I grow with them about skill, about connection, creative. And for me, it's too important to grow in creative world about illustration, characters, letters.
And so, in terms of the collaborations, do you feel that it was in the spirit of the original graffiti, New York City graffiti spirit, except without the trains? Were you living that in your head? ¿Será en el mismo espíritu de subway graffiti, the collaborations? All right, I'm going to go to the next question. Okay.
Una cosa che mi piace del tuo stile è che è grande e audace. La scala non indica quanto sei alto.
One thing I like about your style that it's big and bold. The scale doesn't indicate how tall you are.
Yes, I'm small. I'm small, and I like to paint big, but I don't understand when I paint that the graffito is big. Then I see because I'm near the piece, but while painting, I don't understand when the graffito is big.
I happen to like this piece a lot. I like this a lot on the modern building. Tell me about this piece, when you did it and why you did it.
Okay. I love to paint in different place that have different support, like glass, like wood, like tank, and these are all abandoned place apart. And for me, the support is important. I feel good when I find amazing spot.
Abbandonare gli spazi hanno uno spirito speciale.
Yes, because
Let me say the question. Do abandoned spaces have a special spirit?
yes, because I feel something. I don't know how to describe this, but I feeling good when I paint abandoned place, because I thought what the place was before. There is something special when I go there.
It's like, you know, for what I remember of like painting trains, it was always like leaving a part of my spirit on the train. I'm leaving something behind. Do you feel like you leave some of your energy behind?
Lasci alle spalle un po' della tua energia. Lasci alle spalle un po' della tua energia.
Yes, because I spend too much energy when I go to paint, because go to abandoned place is enough danger, because part are damaged, and
I lost you. I can't hear you. Nina. I can't hear you, so we're going to try again, okay? We'll be rejoining Nina in a second. Let's just try this connection again. There's a little lag in terms of bandwidth. So she should be joining us. Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm sorry. Could you finish the answer, please?
okay.
So the question was about leaving something behind. When you leave a mark and your name behind, how does that feel for you? What does that represent? Okay, so I'm gonna.
I don't understand well the question.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one.
Parlami di questa collaborazione con Eras.
Tell me about this
Okay.
collaboration.
Yes. I did this collaboration with Eras. Eras is a great artist from Belgium. Yes, Belgium. And I did for him sketch in vectors with characters, and he make the installation in 3D. It was been
Do you
very creative.
It's a terrific collaboration, and I like his work a lot. But I want to talk about you as the artist. You not just like style writing, you also like cartooning and illustration. You were influenced by Japanese art, Japanese manga art, and Hiroshi Sasagawa. And one of the things that we see in your work is the influence of manga. Talk to me about that. Why does that attract it to you?
Yes. Yeah. I started to read manga when I was very young, in high school, and I started also to painted manga, and then I start also to paint different kind of characters, and I evolved, checked Manara illustration, and started to create a personality style about characters, and stop to copy other characters.
There's a graphic connection between graffiti and characters, right?
C'è una connessione grafica tra graffiti e personaggi.
Not here.
C'è una connessione grafica tra graffiti e personaggi.
Ah, of course. Because about the illustration, for me, create lettering with the characters is too più completo. Arricchisce.
Oh, I lost you. Hang on a second. We're going to bring Nina back on. Sorry, we just have to refresh. Ah, much better. Can you hear me now?
Okay, I repeat the replay before.
Well, I wanted to know about the connection between the graphic design of characters and style writing. And okay, Nina, let's try this again. Okay, folks, just bear with me 1 second as we try to get Lady Nina back on. Here we go. Hi, Nina. Can you hear me? Nina, can you hear me?
Yes.
Ah, so the question is about the connection between the graphic design of characters and the graphic design look of graffiti lettering and that connection.
Yes. For me is important because my illustration with the characters and the letters create è più completo.
Yes, a complete picture.
Yes.
So in your characters, you like to draw the bee girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
You love hip hop.
Yes.
In your work, you speak about hip hop culture and how important hip hop culture is to you through your work. Tell me about the impact of hip hop culture on
Yes.
you and on Italy.
Yes. My connection with hip hop was in my save because where I live, the situation is bad, like people and other things. And when out my place, I discover hip hop and I feel fresh and much important things about hip hop in my life, and hip hop graffiti is safe, I think.
I hear that a lot about graffiti, and I say that too, that graffiti saved my life because it helped me find creativity, but also it helped me create a career with my creativity. And it has done that for you too, because you do commercial work and you sell your drawings and paintings, but also you do works for big companies. You've done some great commercial work, like this one for Red Bull, where you designed the outfit. Oh, you can't hear me. Okay, I'll try this again. We'll be joining Lady Nina. Thank you guys for being patient with us. We're just dealing with bandwidth issues, but we'll get through it, and a little bit of language translation, but we're doing okay. Let's try her again. She should be joining us any minute. Here she is. I just want to remind you guys again, when you have time. Oh, there you go. Hi, Lady Nina. Can you hear me?
Hi, again. Yes, now, yes.
So I want to talk about your commercial work. Yes, I hear you fine.
Mm-hmm.
Bene. You do commercial art, and you did this project with Red Bull, and you designed the swimsuit.
Yes. Yes. And the Mad Hoppers is a squad about the cliff diving and with the Red Bull.
Oops.
And they asked to me to make a design for the suite. And my design is my lettering, my letters, but destruction, frammenti.
See, I understand that. Yes, it's fantastic. I think it's beautiful. It looks perfect the way they cut it. Now, you also paint for events, and you know, another thing that you do is that you really care about the culture. So you started, you started studying photography and have done some journalism and writing about urban culture. But then you started your own magazine, Burners. Why did you start Burners? What was missing that Burners was so important to do?
Yes. Before Burners, I worked like editor and photographer. Other magazine. I started this in 2008, 2009 to wrote interview and make both for photo reporter, photography and editor both. Then, but it was my dream to create a magazine about hip hop and about my life, because I live graffiti 24 hours because with my works situation, and I wanted to talk about graffiti writer, the stories of them, and inside there are pics about wide. And for me, it's important the culture and people know the true story also of important graffiti pioneer.
So you obviously have a real love for graffiti, but also a love for hip hop. And one of the things that's very interesting about Europe and about your story and your journey is you travel a lot to celebrate it. And so I want to know about, like in Europe, there's a lot of underground graffiti jams. Tell me about the graffiti jams in Europe.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and my first event about graffiti and hip hop.
I lost you. We will come back with Lady Nina in a second. We just lost her. I'll ask her the same question again about the importance of hip hop jams in Europe. One thing that's been really evident since the early days European writers and b-boys were always organizing events for. I
Okay.
will start
Yeah.
the question again about the importance of graffiti jams and hip hop jams. Why is that so important? We'll be back with Lady Nina in a second. Yeah, so it's fascinating. A lot of you guys out there have traveled far and wide and participated in graffiti jams. And it's really so important because it's part of the sustainability of our culture and this whole system, right? Let's see, let's bring her back on. She should be joining us in a minute. Hi, Nina.
Yes. Here I am again. And yeah, my first Ride for Gold. It was an event created by Molv, where I live, and the first time for me to see this kind of event about graffiti. Then I went also in Milan for the Amazing Day. It's an by Mr. Weni, and it's a big event about culture. Went also in Meeting Style in Anversa, and there I saw a different situation because people saw graffiti and people like graffiti, while in Rome people no open mind about graffiti.
Why do you think they're not open-minded about graffiti? It literally kind of started in Rome, no?
In Rome,
Yeah.
I think in Rome there isn't a big culture, and people in Rome, if don't understand people, is bad, because people in Rome want characters, street art, easy things.
Yes, that seems to be the case everywhere I turn these days. But you do exhibit your work. Do you enjoy exhibiting in the galleries? Oh, this is so annoying. Let's just try this again. What's up, Ortex? You're back. So my question for you was, but do you enjoy showing your work in galleries? Is that something you want to continue doing with your work? ¿Te gusta galerías?
Yes, I like to exhibition if the curator or there is have the right mind, because now, for example, organize exhibition is fair. All make all in an exhibition. I like if the people curator and galleries have the right mind.
And so you practice in a studio. Is that normal for
Yes.
you to be in the studio every day?
No, depends, because this studio is also ours, and I go there when I need to make big canvas, because I have to make small artwork than big. But when the commission and collector big canvas, I go to the studio.
In this painting, you're painting a New York City subway. Why not an Italian train?
You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I guess you can't hear
Yes.
me.
Now, yes.
You can hear me. So you're painting a New York City train. Why did you not choose to paint an Italian train?
Yeah.
¿Por qué no tren italiano?
Higher a part of the question. No, all question.
Why paint a New York City train and not an Italian train? Okay, let me get rid of you real quick and bring you back. I'm sorry, guys, we're having these technical difficulties. We'll bring Nina back on. Let's see. Now that Instagram is acting funky. Okay, here we go. Hi, Nina. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me, Nina?
Yes, now yes. But the connection is bad because out the rain.
Why did you paint a New York City train instead of an
It's
Italian
raining.
train? So, Nina, my question is, why paint a New York City
Why?
train and not an
I know here.
yes, and not Italian?
Okay. Okay. Yes, okay, okay. Sorry. And yes, actually, the design of New York trains, and for me, it's important to paint something of New York City because I'm part of TDS and I want to paint something of the city.
You also take time to talk about graffiti and try to help people understand the culture.
Yes. And
Tell me about that part of your work.
tell me about
That part of your work.
I do often talk about graffiti in especially because I'm a woman that's paint graffiti, and people ask to me to say something in Sidon where people present book about graffiti and want to the school, and I for me it's important because I want to say what I think and to other things about graffiti, my graffiti.
And of course, as we start, we're closing the conversation. One of the things that I like, again, and like you said, it's important to recognize female artists in the graffiti culture. You have gotten better than most.
Yes.
Yes, and so I like the idea of the importance about talking about the balance of creating art, that creating art is not graffiti is not just a boy's thing, it's also a woman's thing too. It's an art practice.
Not here.
You can't hear me.
Here part of the question because
It's not enough. Okay. Well, let's do this. I'll leave it at that. I know, I understand. I'm sorry. Can you hear me? We're gonna try this one more time.
here again. Sorry for the
No,
bad connection.
it's not your fault. It's not our fault. But listen, I wanted to thank you so much for sharing your art and your story with us, with the Museum of Graffiti. And
for me, it's a big pleasure to be part of your talk. I'm a bad connection and a bad English.
no, I'm sorry for my bad English too. So Nina,
No.
thank you for contributing and supporting this amazing culture. Thank you.
Thank you
Ciao
too.
for now.
See you in Italy.
Ciao, grazie mille.